What is up, guys? Welcome back to the SuperCoach Experience podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Savage, the coach of the Xavier Turbos. We are back for the Q&A episode for the Patreon members. So let's get straight into it. The Patreon members have been coming in hot, and let me tell you, most of them are ranked higher than I am. I'm ranked 67K, but I do hope to trump them and give them some decent advice with the weeks coming up. They have some really hot questions coming in, so we're going to read them out now. So Michael Finch, what is the best SuperCoach trade strategy for the first 5 rounds? Should I focus on cash generation, fixing underperforming premiums, targeting early breakup players, or saving trades for later in the season? I was looking at no trades this week. I've been tossing up with this idea for a long time, for the last 2 days until since lockout has happened, even before that. But what I think is the best strategy to go forward in terms of ranking, I think you've got to go hard at the players who are overperforming and who are going to score points for you. I think you've got to target the players that you overlooked in your SuperCoach squad initially, and you've got to get them in. For myself, I'm trading in Hamoli Olakuatu this week. I'm doing that because he was in my side all preseason, and I've said this multiple times on podcasts already, but he was someone that was on the fringe of my squad anyway, and I took him out of my side just banking on him not to quite perform to what I expected. I think my expectancy for him was 60s or 70s early on, turned up in the first week, and not only that, he looked a lot better than what his 100 score kind of suggested. So even if he scored 60 or 70, I just would have looked at him and seen that he's going to have a really good season SuperCoach-wise. So for me, I think you've got to go for points. The cash generation will happen, and a lot of people are going to be targeting cash generation to try and get their squad to the best value they can. I think the best move for yourself is to target the points, especially if you're a overall player. If you are a head-to-head player, I think it's a good time to save trades. There's a lot of cheapies already around. You don't really need to move sideways to a lot of people unless your squad is looking a bit how you going, and you've got cheapies that haven't quite performed, haven't quite been named. A lot of people started with Kelmer. He wasn't named for the Parramatta Eels. I think you've definitely got to move him on and generate cash there, or move up to an Olakuatu or someone who's going to really perform well for you, maybe a Tom Gilbert or something like that. So I think that's the best way to go about it, it just really depends if you're head-to-head or overall focused. Gary, hi Sab, wondering if you can explain why there'll be less scrutiny on the referees and bunker. Graham Putin want total control over the game. A great deal of the calls over the weekend were okay, however, some unbelievable decisions were questionable. That 6 again call whenever. One side could be pushing the man playing the ball, lean and pushing off a man to get up and play. Then they penalise the other side for defending for supposedly the same thing. Furthermore, one team has the ball and called quickly. The other team, the referee will not call until they're on the ground, slowing the player down for the play the ball. I have timed it myself, but check for yourself. Yeah, I've noticed this as well. I think it definitely is like a trying to get momentum for the other side if they are down, because like sometimes just like we saw Melbourne Penrith, we saw Manly, we saw the Broncos, how fast they were playing. I think the referees will purposely slow them down because they feel like it's going too fast. It's not intentional, but I think they're just doing it because it feels like it's too fast and it's not supposed to happen. So I think the refs hopefully do look at that and realize, oh, hang on a minute, this team's just really good. We're used to reffing at this certain play the ball speed. Let's readjust our bearings and kind of decide. I feel like they don't really look at that. I think they're okay with making that decision just because it does even out the momentum sometimes. But nonetheless, I kind of agree with you where it's very inconsistent sometimes, but we're always going to get that with the referees. Not really a SuperCoach question, but if you're here on the Patreon and that's what you want answered from me, well then, by all means, that's what I'm going to answer. But yeah, the refs are disappointing, but I think I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't want to complain about the refs too much. I just don't like complaining about the refs. Yeah, they really annoy me sometimes, and I just think it's how the game's going to be. And if they make these real blatant decisions that are awful, then it's probably probably the way they've, I don't know, that they'll cop it. Howie on Patreon. Leitauer out, Lucas to centre wing. Then I don't know if I want Ola, Payne, or take the punt and go for Tino cheaper. My 2RF is currently Yo, Preston, Big Red, Fini Furiaki, Hubner, and Lucas. So Lucas is going to centre wing. I love Lucas, and it's Olaquatu or Payne Haas. Payne Haas looks amazing, but he only played 50 minutes on Thursday night. I think Olaquatu, he's got the good draw coming up. It's not like you're going to get Payne Haas now and then Olaquatu later. You want Olaquatu now. With Payne Haas, he looks fresh. He looks really good. Yes, he's the most traded in player this week, and I think he's in for a massive one. He looks so good, but realistically played 50 minutes. If he keeps that up all season, then he becomes an immortal, realistically. But I think I'm just going to hold off. Yes, he is very tempting, but you got Terrell May, you got Big Red. I think that's enough in your front row. Go Olaquatu, I think. But I really don't mind the Haas play. The thing that does scare me is he did play 50 minutes against a side that was like one of them massive boys in under 11s who their birth certificate's wrong or something like that. They're playing 4 years older than what their age group suggested. That's just how he was against those sort of sides. So I think what I want to do is, if you are, it's tough. Haas is the most traded in player this week. Olaquatu might not play Origin, so I think go Olaquatu. Musti, shout out Musti, ranked I think like 280th last year. Who has higher upside, White or Gula? I'm going to go Kobe Hetherington to Jack Goz, one of White or Gula to Hamish Stewart, and Seafarth to Olaquatu. Firstly, Kobe Hetherington to Goz. I get it because you're funding Seafarth to Olaquatu, so I get it. I assume this third trade is to fund that trade as well. I wouldn't do that. Kobe Hetherington is obviously going to make enough money himself to be a decent cheapie himself. I would find other avenues to do so. He does say he's maintaining a 2RF of Ola, Watson, and Hosking. I think you're reaching for the stars a bit. I think you do have to sell one of these other guys to get to Olaquatu. But, what I did last year was trade hard because I wanted players that I wanted in my team. And if Olaquatu is someone for you, which I've traded in this week, so I can't knock it at all, then who do I think has higher upside, White or Gula? I think Gula, maybe not the upside, but I think Gula will be more consistent. That being said, the middles for the Roosters this week are so light. I think if White's going to get good minutes, it's going to be this week. So I would sell Gula. He does have the buy in round 3, so he's not going to have a price rise till round 4. I'd sell Gula. I think White, although I think White just needs to play big minutes, right? Like after the weekend, they're really going to struggle. So yeah, I think White is the play. That is it for the Q&A. We had 4 questions. I put the thread out nearly 24 hours ago, but that's just because everyone is so locked in. They already know what they want to do this week. Let's go to the Patreon chat. Maybe I'll answer some live questions that people have going in there. Gaz says, would you wait a week to trade out Seafarth for Gazewski? Metcalf for Arthurs through Jules gives me 310,000 war chest. To be honest, I think Arthur's is a good trade-in. I think Seafarth to Gods is a good trade-in, but I'm not sure on Metcalf. Metcalf plays Manly this week. Realistically, if he scores 50, are you going to be happy? He's still going to have a relatively high break-even. Are you still going to sell him next week? If that's the decision, then I would say do it. But at the same time, like you're getting in good players, get on the front foot this week and then get in a gun next week. I think that's the way to go. It's definitely, I just feel like more cheapies and the cheapies that were relevant are going to jump out at us this week. So part of me thinks that we need to maybe just wait a week and see how we go. But yeah, it's a very similar one. Daz says, I'm holding Seafarth. He got the HIA. Look like he'll play 80. They went the opposite side all night, so see no attack or defense. Find the other way to get the goals next week. I think that's pretty good. Pretty good advice right there. We've got some other questions. Shep, what's everyone's thoughts on Brown after the new signing news? So this is massive. So the reason I got Dylan Brown in my side is because I knew that first 10 rounds he's playing for a contract. They got towed up by Melbourne and he already had a contract offer on the table. I think Dylan Brown has panicked and thought, this offer is going to come off the table. I've got to sign right now. So this does worry me a bit. He's locked into my side. I'm not selling him. He's good enough to see out the rest of the season and still score very well. So for me, I'm just keeping him in my side. And yeah, but if you're looking at buying him, I probably wouldn't buy him. I'd look at Munster, Burden, or someone like that. But yeah, I think if you're looking at selling, I know you want to look for cash for these guys who have popped off round one. But Dylan Brown, he's someone that you really underappreciate all year. You look at his scores at the back end of the year and you think, I wouldn't mind that. So, yeah, the score of 79 on the weekend, 73 on the weekend, I am very keen on taking. Isaac says, is Cobo to Jesse Arthurs a good trade or should I hold Cobo? I think Cobo on the right edge for the Broncos is a very good thing. But I also think Arthurs is a good thing on the left edge with Ben Hunt as well. I wouldn't be trading Cobo to Arthurs because you've started with Cobo. You've reaped the rewards of an 85. I think keep going. They might attack right, depending on which edge has the rookie for Canberra this week. But Reece Walsh is really good on that right side. Adam Reynolds is good at putting him in space. It worked on the left this time. They were targeting that Robert Toya edge. So I would hold Selwyn Cobo. That being said, Selwyn Cobo scored 3 tries. So, yeah, 85 points. I'd hold on to him. I'd look at another way to get to him, to be honest. We've got some others in the chat. We've got some captaincy chat. Shout out to the Patreon. We've actually started our consensus side, which is ranked quite poorly, 84,000th in the first round. Tyson is doing the trades and the captains for it this week. He's done 1 trade so far. He might do another trade because we've got Jake Tungo in there for some reason. He's doing Metcalf to Brimson this week. He's doing VC, Turbo, Captain Cleary. So I have to keep updated to see if he wants a loop. This is his side this week. Tyson Jones, I'm tempted to go Tago to Tamale, but worried about John's security. This is for the Patreon side. Shep, I'm considering Leitawa to Tamale. Leitawa, I've sold him this week, and I just think the Warriors, seeing all these sides really go hard in the first week makes me think we've got to get on a lot of these players, and I don't want to wait for a player in a side that isn't hot. Like, I don't see a world where the Warriors come out and do something in the next few weeks. I think they're going to warm into it, and if they do, then that's what's going to happen. So yeah, I would sell Leitawa for sure. All right, one last question. Let's go. We had a plethora of questions this morning. We might have to finish there because it just made me exit the thing. Anyway, thank you for tuning in for the Patreon Q&A episode. If you are part of the Patreon, then thank you for joining. If you aren't and you want to answer a question every week or you want to just get involved in the community, there's a WhatsApp chat. It's popping off at the moment. Then head over to the link in our bio. You'll see it there. Anyway, cheers for the weekend. Good luck and enjoy your week of footy.